Hello there folks, and welcome back to the channel for another video with me, Darth Tribal. This time we're going to be on Formula 1 22, the first league race in the Relaxed Racing League of this season, which is, I believe, season 6? It's either season 5 or season 6, I can't really remember. But yeah, I've not really done a Formula 1 video before, so this is going to be interesting, unless it's a short video, which I've done those before. But we're going to jump straight in on qualifying at Miami, round 1. It's raining, which is throwing a lot of people off. Now, I've only had like about 5 laps of practice on this track before doing this, so I'm not really expecting, you know, great results from this. It's just going to be a matter of survival. I'm looking at the setups and stuff. I've got no idea what I'm doing, to be honest. You know, like the little tinkery bits with the setup, I'm just either guessing or heard from somebody else on YouTube. So yeah, I mean, most of it goes completely over my head. Now this bit I was like, oh okay, well always like put the lowest amount of fuel in as possible, but then I changed my mind and put in quite a bit because I figured I've got no practice in, well, little practice. Let's just put in a load of fuel and then go around a few times just to get to grips with the track, so to speak. But it didn't really take long for me to decide against that, and just take the fuel back out again and just go for it basically and try and set a decent lap. But yeah, we're going to get out of the pit lane. We're going to do our warm-up lap and start our fastest lap. Well, a fast lap at some point. But yeah, we're going to exit the pit lane, and it doesn't take long until we see yellow flags and somebody spinning into the wall. There's going to be a lot of that in this video, but yeah, we just come around the final corner to start a lap, and this guy spins. Fortunately, he's ghosted, so we can just go straight through, which isn't too bad. We come around to yeah, doing our lap, and we spin out into the barrier, lose our front wing. We're off to a great start. Oh yeah, by the way, I had to turn on the racing line for this because it was a new track. I've didn't really have much time to learn it, so it was just a case of turn on the racing line and just deal with it. But from every race after this point, we're going to try and keep it off. I keep badgering everybody else to not use it, and it seems a bit hypocritical if I'm telling people not to use it and there's me using it myself. We've only got 1 minute left, so this is going to be our last attempt at it. Crossing the start line into turn 1, and straight away we see someone exiting the pit lane, and he doesn't get out of the way and decides to block us instead, which is really frustrating. And if you look to the top right, you see how much time I've lost because of that. Now that will get even more frustrating by the end of the lap, but eventually we do get past this guy. Eventually, I mean, it's scuppered our lap. I think we are going to watch the entirety of this lap, but just keep an eye on that time at the top right, that delta, and you see how it's coming down as we fly past a couple of cars there. But we decided to kind of send it on this lap. Well, send it to the limit of our abilities, considering the lack of our practice on this track. But we're not doing too bad. We are faster, as you can see. We're clawing back that 1 minute. 1 minute. That'd be good. 1 second and a half, and already we've gained a second, and it's still coming down. 3 to 4 tenths. Hurtling all the way down to the final corner, and it's down to 3 tenths, 2 tenths, 1 tenth. Oh, back up to 2, and we're level with our previous best time, and we are now quicker, 3 tenths quicker that lap, even though we lost a second and a half, which was really frustrating because if we hadn't have had that incident, we would have qualified 4th, I believe. But hey ho, such is the way of things. Let's get into the race. Coming into the, well, ending our formation lap. Starting to line up on the grid, which is kind of new. For some reason we've got a car there that's starting behind us, but has got there first, which is a bit weird. You often see that on these games. But oh, someone was disqualified from the session apparently. But yes, here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's go. I'm not going to do a Murray Walker impression. Don't. I won't subject you to that. But we get a decent start, semi-decent start, and it's immediately chaos at the start. Getting sandwiched there. I mean, I think the car on the left did brake a little bit early, which I wasn't expecting. But we managed to make it through okay, and that's the important thing. And but sadly, we are down into 11th, 12th now, 11th. Having a little bit of battle there, but we get a virtual safety car, which I didn't notice at the time, as that guy rejoins and knocks us off the track. Oh, it's shameful, shameful. And I get a 5-second penalty for that. Obviously, in the eyes of the stewards, I was the one at fault for that. But yeah, I didn't see that there was a virtual safety car, so I went for the move. If I'd have noticed, I wouldn't have gone for the move. So part of the blame could lay on me, but I still say he could have rejoined a bit better. Another car spins out. We just managed to avoid him, although he did ghost, so we might have been able to have gone through. I don't know. But it's not wise to risk that. We're through this tight section, which I ended up finding was one of my stronger sections. I had a bit of a battle later on, where this guy was catching me all the way through the lap, and then it got to that section and I'd pull away, which was quite bizarre, to be honest. And in terms of this game overall, I haven't played it all that much. I've had 3 races, but 2 of them were in official lobbies, which didn't last very long. But yeah, we've got that 5-second penalty. We're going to have to deal with that at some point as we cross the line and start our second lap. So we have technically survived the first lap, just not unscathed. If it wasn't for that penalty, would have been okay. And get a yellow flag. Yes, it wasn't a safety car, so we were able to get past. I don't know if that was real life, if that would have been allowed, but we'll go for it anyway, because you're not meant to overtake under the safety car, and he was on the track. But hey ho, we gained a position. We're up into 7th place now, which is marvellous stuff. Better than our qualifying position. As we cross the line to start our 3rd lap. The cars behind still there. We're not pulling away, and they're not really gaining that much at the moment. The car in front, he was having a few problems. I think his game, he kept disconnecting, or his game kept crashing. So for about 95% of this race, he was, well, the AI was taking control of his car, and he was ghosted, so we could just drive straight through him, which wasn't too bad because he's quite a fast driver. So we wouldn't have had much chance of beating him if he was actually here. But yeah, as we come through, we come through a little bit later on, the end of the 4th lap. We've got a yellow flag. Something's happened. Can't really see what, but we are up to 6th place now. We probably did see it, and I just missed it. We've got another car off, and it's a back marker, so it's okay. I thought I was going to get lucky then and gain a new position. And lap 5, got another yellow flag. What's happened here then? Not much that I can see. This corner was a weird one. I couldn't really figure it out. And I noticed a lot of the other players they gained a lot of time on me through that section, and I was really struggling to figure out how they were doing it, especially on that, like I say, that slower left corner. It's a really weird corner how it turns. As we come through to finish lap 5, got Notorious Jelly behind us. He's catching us as we're slowly catching him buggy ahead. Even as an AI car, we're struggling to catch him, but we are catching him. I think he's going to get the move on us. We're not going to be able to hold him off, as we're a little bit further ahead. And Jelly is going to go for the move. Not much we can do about it. We're not going to try and fight it though. We're just going to lose time. Just let him go. He will get by eventually, even if we did try to fight him. and he locks his brakes there, but he manages to keep it under control as we follow him through the ghosted AI car. So we lose a position and gain a position, and remain in 6th place. And we get a safety car deployed a little bit further ahead. Can't really see what's happened. And oh, that is frustrating. Yeah, when you get this delta time and the car in front just goes really slow, and it's like you need to keep as close to that time as possible, and then a lot of people just back off, and it costs you a lot of time, which can be really frustrating. I mean, 2 seconds, come on. But it doesn't really matter. And this is a new feature. How you've got to press a button at the right time. Now, unfortunately, it's also bound to my change camera view button. I'm not really sure what to bind it to. I don't know why they can't just set it as turn right. Maybe they can, and I just haven't bothered looking. But you'd think it'd be better if you could just turn right to do that. But hey ho, currently it's on button X, which is fine. A little bit further ahead, still trying to catch the safety car queue, still behind Jelly, and we've got Stormy behind us. Now this was a weird one. The cars in front pulled ahead a little bit, so I had to accelerate a bit to try and catch them up, and suddenly, for some reason, Stormy tries to dive bomb behind the safety car, which isn't allowed, but he does it anyway, and apparently we were in the wrong there, and we've got to hand him the position. So we sort of slam on the brakes a little bit in frustration and just let him go through. It's easier to let him go through and lose position than gain a 5-second penalty. Oh, it might have been a drive-through penalty, and he'd still get ahead of us anyway, so we'll just let him go ahead. As the safety car is in this lap, and everybody bunches up for this final corner. Are we going to get any chaos for this restart? Who knows? We usually do. This race was pretty chaos filled, to be fair. Everybody going super slow. We're just going to weave like crazy, try and get those tyres warm. We weren't really expecting the leaders to start racing again before this corner. We figured that they'd go straight after the corner, which they do, and somehow it catches out the guy behind, and we start pulling away, which is good news for well, not good news for good news for me. There we go, we got the word right, and open up that gap a little bit, which is very nice. But yeah, we've still got Jelly ahead of us. We're not going to be able to do much, like I say. It's just a case of trying to survive. We're down in 10th place, 9th place. Something's happened. We missed what happened. I wasn't really paying attention. But we do gain a position up into 9th place. And Jelly spins off. So that's another position back up into 8th. And we're coming down to this final corner. We've got Chief right behind us, looking for the move. And he does end up going for the move, but outbrakes himself and we collide, which is really frustrating. It damages my front wing, so I have to go straight into the pits and change that wing. It was a reoccurring theme, actually. And Collateral goes out of the session as we get another safety car, but skipping forward a few laps. What lap are we on now? 15, yeah, so we skip forward 4 laps. Still in 8th place, which is quite special considering we had to pit. As we get ready for the, I believe the safety car is ending this lap. Yes, it is. But keep an eye on the mirror and keep an eye ahead. Look how close he is behind as somebody spins and we get collected because he was pretty close to the back of us. He didn't have time to react. I only just managed to have time to react. But yeah, that was really frustrating. And I showed a little bit of my frustration there by holding him up a little, but and we get a 5-second penalty because that was clearly our fault, wasn't it? But we have to box because we've lost our front wing. We get a new wing though, and we're coming out the pits down in 10th place. I mean, at this point I was like, oh my gosh, can this race get any worse? Yes, it can, actually, but on this occasion, doesn't really. After this, not really a lot happened, to be fair. We did get another spinner, trying to catch up to the rest of the field. We don't. Lap 16, end of lap 16, we have Trent. He spins. We're having a little bit of a tug of war battle with him, but we gain a position. But then next lap, well, I think, was it the next lap? I don't know, a few laps later, I do the exact same thing pretty much and spin out myself, which gives him the position back. So yeah, we're back and forth us two. And then a little bit later on, same corner, he spins again. Now this was a bit of a Brown Charles moment. Fortunately we were able to go through him, he was ghosted. But I was sort of adamant not to bloody pit again. So even though we were on pretty heavily worn softs, we thought no, we're just going to try and stay out and live with these tyres to the end. But we had Chief closing in on us, 1 second a lap, and then suddenly he dropped back quite a bit, which was good news for him. It gives us a little bit of a breathing room, but then it gets even better if you just wait for it. There we go. We can relax at last, which is pretty much guaranteed us 8th place. And after this, not that much happened at all. It was just a case of bringing the car home. It did start to rain a little bit, but it wasn't enough to cause any problems. But we come through, checkered flag, finish 8th place. Not the best of starts, but it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, we'll take that, I think. If we didn't have all those incidents, we might have finished a little bit higher, but never mind. I think in the end we do gain a position because that AI car got disqualified. But 8th place, yes. On that note, thank you very much for watching. Hope to catch you in the next one, which will probably be next week. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.